is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The Big 12 regular season basketball schedule came to a close over the weekend, and what a finish it was for Buddy Heild and the Oklahoma Sooners. With 0.2 seconds left in regulation, Heild tipped in the game winner as 15th-ranked Oklahoma stunned the 9th-ranked Kansas Jayhawks 75-73.
That's probably the biggest one right there. That's the best one there, because just being just tapping the ball up. I was so scared. I told it was not on time, but I said, no, I got that shot on time. That's one of the biggest shots I ever made. It wasn't a shot, it was like a little tap back, but that's one of the biggest plays. I went and got the rebound over two guys and then finished it. And thank God, I thought George was going to make the layup, but thank God he came off and got good instincts to go get it.
Now, if making that game winner wasn't enough, Heild got some even better news yesterday. He was named the Big 12 Conference Player of the Year. He becomes the third Sooner to win the award, and he spoke about what he was doing when he got the news.
I just sitting talking to my family back home at my apartment. We were sitting eating breakfast and talking old family stories back then in the day. And Coach called me. My phone's on Do Not Disturb, and Coach called me. I say, "Why are you calling me? You probably want to talk to me or something. I don't know. Probably the game or how I gotta play. He's probably watching film about me." But he called me and said, "Congrats." And I said, "Congrats on what?" He said, "Big 12 Player of the Year." I said, "Oh, it means a lot to me. Being a part of Bay Griffin, Hollis Price, and all those guys who won it. Even guys, the whole history of from Kansas and all. Coach Kruger won the award and all. And it's just it's a blessed opportunity for me, and I'm really happy for this opportunity. And thank God he blessed me so much, and just happy to be this for my family, my coaches, my teammates. My teammates pushed me so much on and off the court to be the best leader I can be, and it really showed off and showcased my talent on the court, and I'm really proud of myself for doing that. I can't let it get to my head because I'm still locked and focused. I'm trying to get that first postseason win, so I'm worried with other things now. I can't worry with this Big 12 Player of the Year award right now.
For Heild and the Sooners, it's now on to the Big 12 Conference Tournament, and up first on Thursday will be a familiar in-state rival.
Oklahoma State, they lost 5 of the last 6. I saw the stats. They lost 5 out of 6, so we got to be locked in and focused. And we beat them 4 times. Last time we beat Billa about 3 times in a row, and they came and they hit us. And we can't let that happen again. So we got to learn from that experience and let's get after them and hit them first and let them come, keeping their heads up.
Another Bahamian also making waves on the collegiate hardwood over the weekend. After being named the Atlantic 10 Player of the Year, Jonquel Jones led the top-seeded George Washington Colonials to the conference title with a 75-62 win over second-seeded Dayton. Jones was named the tournament's most outstanding player after averaging 17 points, 12 rebounds, and 2.7 blocks in 3 games. George Washington will now move on to the women's NCAA tournament. They will learn their seeding and opponent following the selection show next Monday. And speaking of the NCAA tournament, a Bahamian has already qualified on the men's side as well. Tristan Curtis pulled down 14 rebounds to help the top-seeded Coastal Carolina Chanticleers win the Big South Championship yesterday, 81-70 over Winthrop. Coastal Carolina will learn its fate after the men's selection show this coming Sunday. The Bahamas National High School Track and Field Championships closed out with a bang on Saturday at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. SAC won 6 of the 8 divisions, with Queens College capturing the other 2. The nation's chief, Prime Minister Perry Christie, was on hand for the final day of competition, and he spoke with our Kelsey Johnson.
The limited amount of sporting facilities in the Family Islands is a growing concern for Prime Minister Perry Christie.
By looking at Moores Island and seeing how that little island is producing so much, but yet they do not have the facilities. So we're going into Moores Island with surveyors this week. We're going to survey to lengthen the runway so you can fly people out of it. We're going to be able to give them a sporting facility, a sporting complex. We're going to help them build a dormitory so he can house students. And those who live in Abaco who want to come across to Moores Island and have this kind of environment where there's discipline and focused attention on them. So I think, for me, it's exciting. And therefore, as we go into the next year, I'm looking for San Salvador, I'm looking for Exuma, I'm looking for Abaco. I'm looking for these islands to have facilities, and I'm looking for the kids to have this feeling and this attitude that we're coming down here to beat up on New Providence and to beat up on Grand Bahama.
Prime Minister Christie is hoping to use sports as a major plank to boost the economy in some of the family islands, as well as develop student athletes who will eventually turn into better citizens.
I'm not looking at this just as a sporting event for high schools. I'm looking at this as part of the context of developing our country. The kids who've come here and who've lost will now go home and prepare to come back next year to be able to demonstrate that they could win. And that's the whole incentivizing young people.
The BTC and Scotiabank National Track and Field Championships was used as a foundation and is the first of many sporting projects the Bahamas government will fund.
What I've said to the Minister of Youth and to the Minister of Education, that I'm prepared as the Minister of Finance to devote and dedicate resources to this. BTC, for example, there's a foundation already with $1 million at very least, that we're going to use that also to empower family islands with facilities, and not just track and field, but swimming as well. And so you're going to find, therefore, that a major effort on the part of the government to be able to give these kids in the islands a platform themselves to come down here and be able to demonstrate excellence and to be able to represent their country in international games.
The next major sporting event on the calendar is the hosting of the IAAF World Relays. Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Total Sports.
All right, thanks a lot, Kelsey. Now you just heard the IAAF relays are just around the corner, and B3A's president Mike Sands was recently asked when Team Bahamas will be named.
We won't wait for the 9th hour to name our team. The entry deadline closes on April the 20th. Team Bahamas will be named well in advance of that. We have already identified our relay coordinators. Communication has already gone out to all of our athletes for the relay pool, and our process would be based on, number one, the top 6 fastest times in a respective event for this year, including indoors, and the relay coordinators will then identify those persons and be working with them on a relay pool. And so Team Bahamas will be named no later than April the 19th, ahead of the deadline, but the communication has already gone to the athletes and they are aware of the process.
Now, for those of you who couldn't make it out to the relays last year, the ZNS network had you covered from start to finish, and this year will be no different.
You can expect nothing but professionalism, the best in commentary. We have ironed out our kinks that we had last year, and we're looking forward to putting our best journalists, our best broadcasters forward. We have been selected as the broadcaster for the IAAF World Relays for 2015 and beyond, and we're very excited about it.
The New Providence Volleyball Association's Best of 5 championships coming to an end yesterday at the Donald Davis Gym. It took 5 grueling sets, but the Floyd's technicians put away the Scotiabank defenders 20-25, 25-21, 25-22, 13-25, and 15-9. With that win, the technicians won the series 3-1 and dethroned the defenders as champions. The technicians now join the Vixens, who won the ladies' title on Friday. And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.